I'm loyal to this company because what this company has done for me, my family, my loved ones.
How's your neck feeling?
It feels great. I mean, look at this range of motion I got in this thing.
How much did the Wyatt family change your career as a whole?
Changed my entire life. I'm not where I am in life without those guys.
People were surprised when you got let go.
Had no intentions of going anywhere, but at the time, that was the decision they needed to make, and clearly it wasn't the right one because I'm back.
The moment that happened in the ring between you and Brock Lesnar.
I got a little overzealous with him, and he checked me. I like to think I'm the only human on earth that's ever taken a right hand from Brock and didn't go night-night. See the slow motion, my skull moves, and then the skin catches up.
I always forget how gigantic you are.
You know, and honestly, I don't realize that I'm this big. Like, I just feel like a normal person until, like, I see pictures with my friends and fans and things, and I go, holy shit, I'm pretty freaking big.
Were you always just an abnormally large human?
Honestly, no. So when I was born, I was a normal-sized kid. I think I was 17 inches or something like that, and like 7.5 pounds, and I was kind of normal-ish for a while. And then around like 11 or 12 years old, I went through this crazy growth transformation. I remember how miserable it was with growing pains and stuff. And I started high school at like 5'8" or 5'9", I think, like that. And then when I graduated at 17, I was 6'5" and 300 pounds.
Jeez.
So it was, thinking about that, I still have PTSD from the growing pains and everything that I went through when I was a kid. But, you know, it all worked out all right.
How's your neck feeling?
It feels great. I mean, look at this range of motion I got in this thing. So,
look at this.
I mean, I'm pretty much Wolverine. I got some titanium in there and things like that. I was a little nervous. Like, I asked Doc when they put all this hardware in me, I was like, so am I going to set off metal detectors when I go through the airport? Because, you know, we're in airports like more than what our houses, and luckily it doesn't.
So a return is soon-ish then. It's possible.
We're getting close. So I'm actually having, what's today, Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. I'm actually having dinner with my doctor tonight, Dr. Cordover, unbelievable, talented doctor, one of the absolute top neurosurgeons, spinal surgeons in the world. I was very blessed and fortunate to be able to go to have him do the surgery on me at Andrews Medical down in Birmingham, Alabama. So I'm actually going to have dinner with him tonight and talk, and I have another CT scan in, I believe, like 2 weeks. So we're getting really, really close.
When did you start to realize this is an issue?
So I didn't know. So come to find out, I didn't know I had stenosis of the spine. So stenosis of the spine, yeah, it's basically where it's a tightened around your spinal column. So I only had 9 millimeters of clearance around my spine between my C4 and C5 vertebrae, and I didn't know that. And I got hit wrong during a match, and my head whipped back. And when my head whipped back, it pinched my spine, and it felt like lightning bolts shot out of both my arms. My arms went limp. So if you watch the match back, you can see the match where it happened. There's a point where you see me, my arms drop to my side, and I kind of look around really weird, and like finally my hands and stuff start to move again. And I'm like looking at my hands, and I go to take off running, and I'm all wobbly, my balance is off and things like that. And when we got the match finished, and I got in the back, and it felt like someone was pouring boiling hot water down both of my arms. So it was on fire, and so I was in this really terrifying place for a couple of weeks of not knowing, am I ever going to have a normal life again? Am I going to be able to do what I love? Am I going to be able to, just do anything? So it's very fortunate that I've become friends with so many of the legends and things like that in this business. So I called Stone Cold because I knew Stone Cold went through something like this, because come to find out, his injury was almost exactly like mine. It was just a little bit more severe. So he had stenosis his spine when he got pile drived, and it pinched his spine, and it pushed all the fluid out of his spine and bruised him. He was actually paralyzed from the neck down for like 30 seconds. So having him talk to me and kind of almost giving me the proverbial it's going to be okay, it was a very big breath of fresh air, because like I said, I didn't know what was going on. And then WWE takes unbelievable care of their talent, and like talking with the Hunter and stuff like that, and him going, look, what we're doing right now is not as important as what you're going to be doing in 15 years of your life. Get it taken care of. You're important. You're not going anywhere. If you can wrestle again, you can. If you can't, we'll figure it out, but we're going to go. So like having that pat on the back again, like giving that reassurance, because you're not guaranteed anything. So having them be able to put me in the place to have the best surgery that I can, going to the WWE Performance Center, having the best rehabilitation that I can, like I can't be more thankful that I'm taken care of by such an amazing company.
That's got to be hard because you had just returned, and now you're basically saying like, I don't want to be off TV, but I have to.
Yeah, because that was it. I was like, how can I work around this? Because that's what I've done my whole career. Like that's a lot of people don't realize with being WWE Super. We're banged up all the time. There is no off season. Like this is the longest break that I've had doing this in 11 years. So for me to be sitting at home and doing nothing for 4 months, losing my mind, like watching my muscle mass that I worked so hard for diminishing and just sitting there, like, I'm not gonna lie, it weighed on me. 2023 was rough. I mean, with my neck injury, and then, so yeah.
Yeah, that brings tears to your eyes even just thinking about it. Yeah. When did you get this done?
We all
got goosebumps now, too.
A group of us went out after the SmackDown when we talked about Wyndham's passing. So a group of us went out and got Fireflies done that night afterwards.
He's still with you, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. I see him all the time. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Like, I don't know how spiritual anyone is or this and that, but I had a very deep connection with him. I mean, it's just, I see him and there's things that remind me of him, and constantly, every day, there's something like, I can feel him, he's still around.
How much did the Wyatt family, just in general, change your career as a whole?
It changed my entire life. I was this kid that, was told he was never going to make it, never going to be anything, bullied, fat kid growing up, and having a group of guys, 3 talented, unbelievable human beings, take me under their wing and show me the ways through this crazy business. Like, words can't really explain how grateful I am for that, because I'm not where I am in life without those guys.
How'd you get added into the family? Because they already had what they had going on, and then this monster of a man, the monster among men, just added to the group.
From the day Wyndham saw me the first time, he knew that he needed me, and he did everything he could and lobbied for me to be a part of the family. So we just, like I said, it was meant to be.
Do you think if it wasn't for being part of the Wyatt family that you would have ever become Universal Champion?
No, without a doubt, no.
Wow.
Because that was just, look what we were capable to what we were able to do in such a short a period of time. In my opinion, like, you'll never see anything like that again in this business.
Walk me through what one of those entrances felt like.
Just unbelievable. Like, I'll never forget my first WrestleMania, walking out at Texas Stadium or AT&T Stadium, whatever it is, where Dallas plays, with 101,000 people shining their flashlights when we're about to go out and face off against The Rock and John Cena. Like, it doesn't get any bigger than that. For this kid from Sherrilsford, North Carolina, walking out with 2 of his best friends in front of 100,000 people to wrestle 2 of the absolute most iconic wrestlers of all time. Like, I constantly have to pinch myself because I don't believe this is reality. I'm living an absolute fairy tale.
It's one of the most iconic wrestling entrances of all time. Just everybody with their flashlights out, the entire place goes black. It doesn't matter if it's WrestleMania or it's Raw or it's SmackDown or it's a house show. It's just so special to just be in the audience watching that. I can't imagine what it's like being at the center of it.
It's so nuts because, like I said, a lot of backstory, like, people don't know, and things like when I debuted on television, I'd only had 5 wrestling matches in my entire life. So, like, being out there and being taken into the deep end of the pool and getting the proverbial kick in the ass. And, I've been doggy paddling with my nose above the water for over a decade now. So, as I said, the 11th wrestling match I ever had in my life was me and the late, great Luke Harper versus the Brothers of Destruction in Merida, Mexico, in front of 20,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And for a kid new to the business and things like that, and how the old timers like to mess with us, refused to talk to me, wouldn't say anything to me in the back. I was terrified and would have said, "We'll see you out there, kid." And I'm standing in the ring with Brody, and thank God I was still wearing that sheet mask at the time because the gong hit, and literally every hair on my body stood up, and I was underneath that mask just like this. Like, what the fuck? How did I get here? Like, yeah, it's like I just gave myself goosebumps thinking about it. Like, yeah. Literally, it's so crazy. Like, how, like, truly blessed. Like, my life has been. Like, I I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm so thankful for it.
We'll get back to the conversation in just a second. This episode is brought to you by Jordan Craig. Check out the latest styles and streetwear at jordancraig.com. Use that code CVV20 to get 20% off your first order. You guys know that I love me a good plain t-shirt. I wear them a lot during these interviews. And this one right here, this black one, is part of their scallop 3-pack. You get the black, the white, and the gray. Jordan Craig also has some phenomenal hoodies, shorts, and denim. And some of your favorites have been rocking Jordan Craig. Check this out. Braun Strowman actually wore Jordan Craig denim during his WrestleMania 39 match last year. And he looks great while doing it. This beautiful coat that AEW champion Swerve Strickland has been rocking, that, my friends, is from Jordan Craig as well. They've been helping me to look my best, and they'll do the same for you. They have so much to choose from at jordancraig.com, and use that code CVV20 to get 20% off your first order.
How long before winning the championship did you know that it was going to happen?
In my mind, I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I knew it was going to happen. I've been very good at manifesting things, I guess, in my life, because I grew up with nothing, so I had to work for everything, and the only thing I've ever had given to me in my life is a fucking hard time, and pardon my French. But yeah, so like just knowing that, and if you watch I can't remember what documentary it is, I start off talking at the beginning of it, and it shows a full circle where at one point we were getting close for me to be the champ, and something happened, and Vince had changed his mind on it, and it comes to this interview after I had this meeting with him, and I was pissed off about it. Because I was like, I don't know what I'm not doing right, what I'm not doing wrong, this and that. And that whole documentary leads up of me being told that it's not my time to be champion, and it leads up to me beating Goldberg to become the Universal Champion.
Wow.
And it's so crazy to see all that come to fruition in the story.
And to beat a Hall of Famer for the championship.
Yeah, I'm the only person to ever squash Bill Goldberg.
What did that match mean to you?
It meant the world, because like I said, as a kid growing up, idolizing him, to becoming friends with him, and, you know, unfortunate circumstances with everything going on with the pandemic and what happened, he wanted me. So he picked me to do that and do the honors and pass that torch.
Did he reach out to you to tell you that?
Not initially. They reached out, but when we got there, it was a whole thing. He goes to me, he's like, look, let me not paraphrase it wrong. He said, I can count on one hand how many people that I would do this for, and I still have 3 fingers left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's special.
Yeah, very. So as I said, I mean, it's the whole thing, like I said, being able to work with Undertaker and Big Show and Mark Henry and Kane and all these legends, and them taking me under their wing, because I didn't know the difference between a headlock and a hole in the ground when I started this. And them just working with me, talking with me, showing me the ways, sitting up late at night having cocktails, talking about the business and things like that. It's unbelievable.
I feel like a lot of people were surprised when you got let go. What was your reaction when you found out?
It fucking sucked. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it sucked. I mean, I had no intentions of going anywhere, but that's unfortunate part of business. You know, business is business, and that's at the time that was the decision, I guess, that they needed to make, and clearly it wasn't the right one, because I'm back.
Did you always feel like in the back of your mind, like, this is just temporary? I'll be back.
I knew for a fact.
You knew?
Yeah, and that's what I said. I got reached out to by everybody. Come here, come wrestle for us. And I've said it time and time again, I'm loyal to this company, because what this company has done for me, my family, my loved ones, I'm just loyal, and I knew for a fact that I would be back, because this is where I belong. Like, I truly believe I was put on this earth to be a WWE superstar.
When I saw you last year at WrestleMania in LA, I said, it's good to see you back here. And you said, it's good to be home. And it was like the fact that this is home. You were so happy to be back home.
Yeah, and that's it. It's being away, like, I just realized it's like it's 3 weeks from a year since I had my last wrestling match, and I've been away and I haven't seen anybody. So coming here at WrestleMania, getting here to Philly and stuff, and seeing everybody, and feeling that family again, because I knew it was there, but it's just everyone's so busy. Everybody's lives are so busy. Once we leave work, we're all over the place. We all live different places, different countries, all this stuff. We all have other businesses going on and things like that. And then coming here for our big crescendo of the year, it's such a special time. Everything you could feel, like just walking around, you could feel it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So seeing everybody, the hugs, the cries, the having cocktails at the bar, catching up, that's what it's all about. Life's short.
Yeah. I've always been so curious about the moment that happened in the ring between you and Brock Lesnar. He gives you some receipts. What's the actual story of what happens here?
I got a little overzealous with him, and he had to check me. And that's just, at the end of the day, it's two big, dominant dudes out there going at it, and things happen. This ain't ballet.
Did you hit him by accident?
Yeah, I stiffed him on accident with a knee, and he wasn't happy with it, so he clobbered me on the side of the head. And I like to think I'm the only human on earth that's ever taken a right hand from Brock and didn't go night-night. I went 20 more minutes in the match.
Did it hurt?
It didn't feel good. You can see the slow motion. My skull moves, and then the skin catches up.
What's your favorite moment that you've had in your WWE career?
It's so hard, man, because it's all so special. It really is.
It's a heck of a career so far.
Yeah, honestly, like, as hard as it was, the Swan match I had with Bray, because that was my teacher, my mentor, my master, being able to go out there and use the tools and the assets that he taught me and he gave me, and be able to go out there and, like, what a lot of people don't realize with that match and stuff when we had it, it took us like 32 hours of continuous work to film this in hot-ass Florida. And it really put a toll on both of us. I ended up in the hospital after it. So I got home and I collapsed in my house with full body cramps. I had to be pulled out of my house by the EMS and have double IVs hooked up. It took 4 liters of fluid to get my body to stop cramping. So, like, that's when I got a little, you got your critics on the internet and people were bashing it. And I'm like, really? That's great. I get it. It's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But, like, I almost killed myself to make this happen for y'all. So it's kind of hard, dealing with the critics at times when you're sacrificing your health and well-being to put smiles on other people's faces.
Was it dehydration?
Yeah, it was just a lot. You're out in the middle of a swamp for all day long,
You're
all
sweating,
night long.
not drinking enough water.
And then literally getting it done and then going straight to Monday Night Raw right after. I went home, took a shower, went to TV, got that done, and then got home and collapsed while I was taking a shower.
Wash the swamp off of you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's just it. But I wouldn't change a thing, because I know how important what we do on television to the people out there in the world when they need an escape from reality. As I said, nothing I would change. All the surgeries I've been through, the pain, the missing out on normal life, whatever normal is anymore. Excuse me. To seeing the videos of kids that are going to have brain tumors removed, and as they're going under anesthesia, they're holding my action figure. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. The Braun Strowman that debuted in WWE looks a lot different from this Braun Strowman. This Braun Strowman is insanely jacked. When did you make the decision to make that transformation?
Well, one, it was just, my physique coming in was built for a different purpose. I came from World's Strongest Man. In 2011, I was North America's Strongest Man. In 2012, I won the Arnold Amateur World Championship. So at that time, I had to be big. The heaviest I ever was 418 pounds is what I weighed in my last strongman competition. And right now I'm sitting around 360. So I've been all the way between, in the last decade, I've been from 295 to 400 pounds, everywhere in between. And for me, this is my life's work. This is my work of art. That's what people want to see. They want to see when I walk in and people go, he's even bigger in real life than he is on television. And that's why I work so hard to do this. That's why I literally carry food around with me everywhere. Like, I track all my calories. I track all my sleep. Like, I'm so obsessed with it because that's how I got to where I am in life. Yeah. And a lot of it attests to what I went through in my childhood with the bullying and stuff like that, of proving all these people wrong. And I continue to do it day in and day out. And it's so important because it allows me to portray this message when I go and talk to elementary school kids, when I talk to special needs people, about not listening to what bullies and what other people have to say. It's your life. You can control it. You can do what you want with it. As long as you're willing to put some work in, you can do anything.
I love that message. Let's just put things in perspective, just how giant you are. I'll stand up. I'm a normal-sized human. And then you stand up next to me here. And yeah, it really puts it in perspective. If I were to try to go nose to nose with you, I'd be, yeah, okay.
Nose to tits.
Okay. I'll wrap this up with the same question that I ask everyone. And by the way, congrats on everything. We can't wait to see you back in the ring.
I can't wait to be back. I miss it. I miss it a lot.
What are 3 things that you're grateful for as we sit here right now?
My family and loved ones, my health, and the ability to travel around the world and do what I love and make a living, and God. Because without God, none of this is possible.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Braun Strowman.